Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This video is of a mission called Media Blitz, and it is on hard mode, and the achievement is called Blitzkrieg, in which you have to clear the level in under 20 minutes. Now, as you can see, this video is only roughly 14 minutes and 15 seconds. This is because the ending time is actually going to be 19 minutes, give or take. And that's because it seems to be counting cinematics. So even though you press escape, it doesn't actually not count that time. So the first cinematic is like, a few seconds, and then the ending cinematic. So I don't know. Maybe this is 20 minutes game time or something like that, or I don't know, but the ending is going to be 19 minutes and change, while real time is actually only about 15 minutes. So I don't know. It would be better if Blizzard could kind of make this, clarify like what the achievements are and what they expect. Anyway, cutting from that, so basically what you do here is you start with the Odin, and you want to take out the production facilities of the two platforms that you'll see that I'm walking across. You have 4 minutes and some seconds, so it's pretty easy to do that. What you also want to do is take out the missile turrets, and that is because I'm going to be using Specters, or you can use Ghosts if you chose those, to finish this mission, or to do this mission easier without being detected. So I'm just gonna toss a Spectre into a tower, and the Spectre is going to win the level for me. Alternatively, one thing you can do is you can use the Odin to just stand and have 4 SCVs repairing the Odin. That can work. However, if there are siege tanks and if there are Hellions, they can actually kill your SCVs with splash damage. So unless you're going to be vigilant about keeping those SCVs alive by microing, that's taking a chance, and every second sets you back. So you want to make sure that that you are microing your SCVs, or that you are using Specters to activate the towers. And I'll show you here in a moment. So basically, I'm clearing the facilities at the top and facilities at the bottom, taking out this barracks. So there's going to be no units coming from this side whatsoever. So the middle base and the base on the right have no production capacity. As you can see here, I chose the command center reactor for my tech instead of the automated refinery, so I do have to put 3 SCVs on gas. But that's okay. I don't really care much. I moved the barracks to the back because I have a bad experience with the barracks being attacked by banshees and me being like somewhere off in La La Land and totally missing it. So remember that those Specters are expensive, 150 minerals, 150 gas. So you don't really need to make too many, but it would be good if you made at least 3 or 4. As you see in this video, I actually only used 3, but you can use more than that if you want. So right away, I take an SCV and I put him on repairing Odin. And then if you look at the minimap, Odin is actually clearing the base on the right, the expansion on the right. I don't use the expansion here. I did use it on Brutal, but you don't really need it here. The Odin is just so powerful that it doesn't really matter. You want to work in your base a little bit, make sure you have a good enough defense. You get a Thor and 4 Marines, and I felt like that was just enough to keep my base up. But you'll see later that I was mistaken, unfortunately, and it ended up being not quite enough. But, you know, that's okay. Your base is not really that important. When you have the Odin, some minerals and gas, and all you need to do is activate these towers. Doesn't really matter if your base gets wiped out or not. So, as you can see here, I take out the missile turrets because I'm going to be taking my Spectre and having him go and activate that tower. You don't really need to build like a super awesome economy. You just want to make sure that you have enough minerals and enough gas to support building Specters, and maybe another Thor if you want. And also you want to make sure that you can repair the Odin, so you don't want to be like running out of minerals while you're repairing the Odin, because that that would be bad. Or running out of gas for that matter. And also you want to build just a couple more SCVs because you're going to be moving those SCVs to the Odin. You're going to be moving like 4 or so SCVs over there. So as you can see here, the Spectre actually does not have unlimited cloak. I didn't buy that. You can if you want, but it's really not necessary. The Spectre spawns with enough energy to last a while. Another thing I did here was I made a starport, and in the starport I am making Vikings, a reactored starport actually, and I'm making Vikings. So the first Spectre goes here, and you can see he's just chilling, not attacking anything. However, he is going to die momentarily because there will be a Raven that's going to show up, and there it is. But you can get the first tower to 44%. And then what I do next is I take my Odin and I go back down there, and then I clear everything out, and then I then I walk away and bring another Spectre in. So these SCVs are going over. Oh, there's a tank that's hunting SCVs. I built a few Vikings because I'm going to be using those Vikings in the last base. You don't really need that many, especially when you're going to have SCVs around. But you want to have at least probably like 8, maybe a little bit more. So what I try to do here is actually a mistake, and I lose a few Vikings. Or wait, no, I don't. So he throws a Hunter Seeker, but it dies because I fly away because the Vikings are faster. So then I take my Spectre and I go ahead and I run in here. He is cloaked, so he is not going to be killed by anything. If you wanted to do this tower with just the Odin, there is a battlecruiser that comes, and the battlecruiser takes to kill, and it just takes too long because the Odin is just too weak to kill it quickly enough. So as you can see here, I'm taking the Odin and I'm clearing a little bit while those Vikings took out the Raven. And I'm going to be moving my Vikings and my SCVs over to this tower. And this tower, I'm actually going to use the Odin to transmit. There is no battlecruiser here, and there is going to be a Raven, but it doesn't really matter. If you've done this mission enough times, you'll know that there are these medevacs, and what you can do is you can just kill them, so they don't have time to unload everything that they had inside. But yeah, the Odin's actually the one that's transmitting in that tower. And while this is going on, my base is actually getting attacked, and as you can see here, the Thor was out of position. But you know, that's okay. I'm gonna be able to clear these. I'm taking my SCVs off the line to repair this Thor, and I'm actually gonna build another Thor, I think, or maybe not. I don't remember. I think I just stay with one Thor in my base. and I think it actually gets attacked later on, but it's not really that big a deal. So anyway, second tower is complete. You are at about 15 minutes game time right now. So I only have about 5 minutes game time. So I need to plow down to get this. As you can see here, IQ, I want to kill the barracks first so that it doesn't produce anything. The damage done to the Odin is minuscule from these Marines, so it doesn't really matter. I don't need to kill the units first, but I want to kill the barracks because if I'm ever going to need to build SCVs to walk and repair the Odin, then they don't want to be going through that area and they don't want to be getting gibbed by those Marines. So now that that's done, I take everything and I go ahead and attack command. Or actually I kill his tower first, I guess. But I take the Odin and I go in. My base is actually being attacked. As you can see here, I totally screw up and totally, you know, my base is just getting obliterated here. But they're gonna start attacking my command center and I'm just gonna repair it. So I don't really need to worry about my base too much. I go back to the Odin and I keep going through here. One thing that you can actually do this faster. When I did it the first time, I actually was at like 16 minutes and 30 seconds when I finished this. And the reason for that is that because I built a lot more air and I built banshees, and I just used banshees to clear out a lot of units. Since I took out a lot of the missile turrets in the first 4 minutes with my Odin, I was able to fly around cloaked and just kill everything on the map. I didn't do that this time. I didn't think it was necessary, and I still made the time. But I mean, that's one thing to consider. Now that I think about it, that's how I did it with banshees. So, but then again, I don't know how far you are in the campaign, so you might not even have banshees. You might not even have vikings. But this is just one of the ways, you know, that you can knock this out. So. It's a good idea to bring some some air units because banshees deal a lot of damage to the Thor, or sorry, to the Odin, and I want to I want to use air units to kill them because they do a lot of, like, Vikings do a lot of damage to the banshees. Meanwhile, the Odin does a lot of damage to all the ground units. So, you know, air units get taken care of by Vikings, and ground units get taken care of by the Odin. So that's the kind of the idea. Another thing you can do is, obviously, you can just have a medic marine ball do this mission. I know a friend of mine actually finished this with a medic marine mission in like 15 minutes. So you just build like 3 or 4 barracks and just churn out marines and medics, and you finish this extremely easily on hard. Because in hard, the computer does not target your medics, so your marines are basically invincible if you have like 7 or 8 medics. So you can also do that, but this is just one way of doing it. Just using the Odin and SCVs, basically. Oh, all my SCVs died, but it's okay. So the upload is complete, and this is where the timer stops, I think.
That's the last one.
There is a cutscene. I'm not sure if it's included into the counter, but there you go. So 19 minutes and 18 seconds in-game time. You can totally cut that down by like 3 minutes because I dilly-dallied way too much. So yeah, that's about it. If you guys have any questions, leave some comments, and I'll see if I can answer them. All right.